Mad Dog's Tale. Mad Dog is surrounded by girls. They ask him how he got his name. He says it's not because I'm wild or a crazy tame boy, but because 14 years ago, when I was 2, I would buy anything I could catch hold of. My mom, my brother, Doc Rice, even Reverend Bingham. So my father named me Mad Dog, and it stuck. When I go home, I ask my father if he knows Mad Dog's real name. He looks at me like I'm talking in another language. Ma could have told me. December 1934. Art exhibit. We had an art exhibit last week in the basement of the courthouse to benefit the library. Price of admission was 1 book or 10 cents. I paid 10 cents the first time, but they let me in the second and third times for free. That was awful kind, since I didn't have another dime, and I couldn't bring myself to hand over Ma's book of poetry from the shelf over the piano. It was really something to see the oil paintings, the watercolors, the pastels, and charcoals. There are pictures of the panhandle in the old days, with the grass blowing and wolves. There was a painting of a woman getting dressed and a room of curtains, and a drawing of a railroad station with a garden out the front, and a sketch of a little girl holding an enormous cat in her lap. But now the exhibit is gone, the paintings stored away in spare rooms or locked up where no one can see them. I feel such a hunger to see such things, and such an anger because I can't. December 1934.
State test again. Miss Freeland said our grade topped the entire state of Oklahoma on state test again, 24 points higher than the state average. Wish I could run home and tell Ma and see her nod and hear her say, "I knew you could." It would be enough. January 1935.
Miss Freeland was my ma at the school Christmas dinner. I thought I'd be the only one without a real ma, but 2 other motherless girls came. We served turkey, chestnut dressing, sweet potatoes, and brown gravy. Made it all ourselves, and it came out pretty good. Better than the Christmas dinner I made for my father at home, where we sat at the table, silent, just the 2 of us. Being here without Ma, without the baby, wouldn't have been so bad if I just remembered the cranberry sauce. My father loved Ma's special cranberry sauce, but she never showed me how to make it. January 1935.
Driving the cows. Dust piles up like snow across the prairie. Dunes leaning against fences. Mountains of dust pushing over barns. Joe DeLaFleur can't afford to feed his cows. Can't afford to sell them. County Agent Dewey comes, takes the cows behind the barn and shoots them. Too hard to wash their lungs, clogged with dust, like our chickens suffocated. Better to let the government take them than suffer the sight of their bony hides sinking down into the earth. Joe DeLaFleur rides the range. Come spring, he'll gather Russian thistle, pulling the plants while it's still green and young. Before the prickles form, before it breaks free, to tumble across the plains. He gathers thistle to feed what's left of his cattle, his bone-thin cattle. Cattle he drives away from the dried-up Beaver River to where the Cimarron still runs, pushing the herd across the breaks where they might last another week, maybe 2 until it rains. January 1935.
Vera Wanderdale was putting on a dance revue at the palace, and Arlie asked if I'd play a number with the Black Mesa Boys. It's hard, coming on to Christmas, just me and my father with no ma and no little brother. I don't really feel like doing anything. Still, I told Arlie I would try, just because it looked like it meant a lot to him. He said he'd be dancing then, so he needed a piano player, and Mad Dog would be singing, and he knew how I just love to be connected with anything Mad Dog's doing. The costumes are ordered come all the way from the city, she said, special, the latest cuts. I wish I could go with her to pick them up. During rehearsals, Mad Dog comes off the stage with his numbers and stands by the piano. He doesn't look at me like I'm a poor motherless thing. He doesn't stare at my deformed hands. He looks at me like I am someone he knows. Someone named Billy Joe Kelby. I'm grateful for that, especially considering how bad I am playing. December 1934.
Sunday night. I stretch my legs in my iron bed under the roof. I place a wet cloth over my nose to keep from breathing dust, and wipe the grime tracings from around my mouth, and shiver, thinking of Ma. I am kept company by the sound of my heart drumming. Restless, I tangle in my dusty sheets, sending the sand flying, cursing the grit against my skin, between my teeth, under my lids, swearing I'll leave this forsaken place. I hear the first drops, like the tapping of a stranger at the door of a dream. The rain changes everything. It strokes the roof, streaking the dusty tin, conging. A concert of rain notes spilling from gutters, gushing through gullies, soaking into the thirsty earth outside. Monday morning dawns, cloaked in the mist. I button into my dress, slip on my sweater, and push my way off the porch. sticking my face into the fog, into the moist skin of the fog. The sound of dripping surrounds me as I walk to town. Soaked to my underwear, I can't bear to go through the schoolhouse door. I want only to stand in the rain. Monday afternoon. Joe de la Flor brushes mud from his horse. Mr. Kincannon hires my father to pull his olds out of the muck on Route 64. And later, when the clouds lift,
the farmers surveying their fields nod their heads as the frail stalks revive. Everyone, everything, grateful for this moment, free of the weight of dust. January 1935.